When Mason traveled one day through Bandipur National Park in India, he noticed something unusual just a few meters away. A lone elephant was there and did not move. Mason was a veterinarian who regularly patrolled the large animal reservoir. He loved his job as he got to spend a lot of time with a variety of animals, including leopards, tigers, and elephants. The veterinarian had a simple routine at work. He spent most of the morning checking the animals and examining them for any changes or abnormalities. But this case was different. The elephant was left alone, while his herd was nowhere to be seen. Mason immediately felt that something wasn't right. He knew it was best not to get too close to the elephant, so he stopped his car and waited. Meanwhile, he wondered why this animal was alone in this place. Perhaps he had been separated from his flock and was now waiting for their return. Experts discovered that elephants went to certain places to wait for members of their herd, hoping to reunite. Mason waited patiently in the car and carefully observed the situation. In just a few minutes, an hour quickly passed. At that moment, he realized that the elephant was completely calm. He didn't move his ears or tail at all. Normally, resting elephants move their tails and ears to ward off flies or turn their ears to hear new noises. But this elephant was just there, standing still. The tired doctor felt the temptation to go home and leave the elephant behind. But something inside him made him want to stay in this place. Fortunately, he did. As with more attention and observation, Mason quickly realized that something wasn't right with this elephant alone. In the distance, he couldn't recognize what it was, but because of his years of experience, an alarm sounded in his head. So he decided to get closer and investigate. As he was aware of the danger of his decision, Mason approached extremely cautiously. He drove as slowly as possible and tried not to scare the animal. The elephant raised its head when it heard the car door close. Mason froze, as he didn't know how the powerful animal would react. The elephant, however, remained calm. Mason stood frozen in place until the elephant's interest in him waned and he turned around. Normally, it would be time to return home, but for inexplicable reasons, the man decided to approach the elephant. He leaned against the car and waited a while for the elephant to move away. Then, he walked away from the vehicle and approached the animal on foot, with binoculars in his hand. This way, he was able to observe what was happening without getting close to the elephant. But what he saw shocked him. When the lenses finally came into focus, Mason snapped to attention. Even from afar, he was able to see that the animal was desperately screaming for help. Tears ran down her face and left dark stains between her large eyes. In a hurry, Mason called the infirmary's medical team and informed them what was happening to the animal. He was very grateful that he had trusted his instinct. Now he was certain that there was something wrong with the elephant. If he had returned home, he might never have realized that this elephant needed urgent help. Overwhelmed by the need to help the elephant as quickly as possible, he let go of his fear and approached him. The last thing he wanted to do was scare the elephant further. Then he approached very calmly. Until he got close to the elephant, the animal did nothing but watched the man with a sad look. Mason swallowed his feelings as he made eye contact with the elephant. Then he approached very calmly. Until he got close to the elephant, the animal did nothing but watched the man with a sad look. Mason swallowed his feelings as he made eye contact with the elephant. It was obvious that the animal was in a lot of pain. It was really painful to see this. As he didn't know what to do, he walked away and knelt a few meters away from the elephant and spoke some comforting words to him. Of course, the animal couldn't understand what he was saying, but based on his experience with animals over many years, he knew that they could sense their feelings and intentions from the sound of their words. True to his experience, Mason could see how his good friend relaxed, and then began to calm him further with his words while they waited for help. Then something incredible happened. The elephant knelt on the ground and seemed to have complete trust in the man. After 30 minutes of hope, the doctor noticed 2 cars with veterinarians approaching. He was relieved that the elephant would soon be treated and hopefully released from its suffering. As help approached, Mason walked toward them. He explained to them what he saw and showed them. When they saw what was there to call for help, they were also completely shocked. No one had seen anything like this before. The elephant had a large abscess on its hind leg, and they could only imagine how much pain it had been in so far. The medical team soon took action, reassuring the animal. Because of his size and weight, they were unable to take him to the clinic. When the team noticed that the animal was completely sedated, they immediately took action. They opened the abscess and began treatment with medication. They worked quickly, as the elephant could awaken from the anesthesia, stand up, and attack in fear. As soon as they finished the treatment, Mason noticed that the elephant moved. They quickly returned to their cars, which were a few meters away. Everyone saw how the elephant slowly got up and tried to balance itself again. When he didn't move for a few minutes and didn't make a sound, Mason worried that something might have gone wrong. But after a while, the elephant slowly started wagging its tail to signal to the team that they had done a good job. Everyone applauded when they saw it and decided to come back the next day to see his recovery. But as they were starting to start their cars, something happened that no one expected. The large animal slowly came towards them. Everyone in the team was tense as he approached, but they simply sat and waited for the elephant to simply pass by. The giant passed by the medical team's cars, headed straight for Mason's car. When the elephant reached his window, it stretched out its trunk and enveloped the man. This gesture shocked all the team members, because it seemed as if the elephant was grateful for receiving help. This magical moment brought everyone there to tears, especially Mason. After a few minutes, the elephant quietly left, while people looked at it in awe, grateful for the once-in-a-lifetime experience. If this story touched your heart, share it so that more people can see how affectionate and sentimental animals are. God bless us.